Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 11 of the Barbells, Burgers and Bitchin' podcast with your host. Go on, I was being polite.
Alex.
Why do you say it so timidly? Alex and Hannah.
You threw me because usually you say your name first.
Oh, sorry. I'll keep a routine.
I like routine. Same all the time, please.
This episode is actually going to be the final one of 2025, which is scary. I also hate that it's episode 11 because that's a really random number. But
Double hockey sticks.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Legs 11. Have you played bingo? That's what 11 is, isn't it? Yep.
Too fat
what?
What? It's 88.
I knew you were going to do 88.
Is that two fat ladies?
Is it lady? I was going to say ladies. Two fat ladies.
Yes. It's all like...
So derogatory. Why can't it be two fat men?
It's not Cockney rhyming, but it's Cockney rhyming, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Tommy Tank.
Two little ducks. 22.
Tommy Tank?
What's that one? I love it.
It's Cockney rhyming slang. Tommy Tank.
What does Tommy Tank mean?
Cockney rhyming slang. So apples and pears is...
What's apple and pears?
Stairs.
What's...
Tommy Tank.
Is it a rude word? I think it is. Does it rhyme?
Yeah.
With tank?
Yeah.
I'm so innocent. Don't infiltrate my pure brain. Anyway, we went on a tangent. This is going to be our final episode of 2025. And we bring you a little Christmas tree in the background. It would have been cute if that was in the last episode, but alas, we're too organised. We were recording that one ahead of Christmas time, or at least ahead of the decks coming up. So, this episode is going to be relevant to the new year because or at least I don't know if you have this. Do you mind belching down the mic?
I blew my mouth. I didn't belch. I blew my cheeks up.
This is going to be relevant to something that I've definitely had come up with my clients. I don't know if this is something you ever have with your clients.
Well, if you tell me, I could answer that question.
You know what this is going to be about?
I don't know how you're wording it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's also definitely going to be relevant to anyone who's looking to get started with their health and fitness routine this year or in the new year, and maybe feeling a little bit anxious about the situation or a little bit nervous about entering a gym setting.
Getting into a new environment. It's all what's...
Take it seriously.
Cables and barbells and dumbbells.
This is a genuine fear people are dealing with.
Yeah, no, I'm pretending to be someone that doesn't know what's going on.
Okay.
I'm role playing. Oh my god, what's that?
Please ignore him.
It's a trapper. But what's that? That's not a barbell. What is that?
I don't think the first thing someone's going to go into a gym who's never been into a gym before and look at a trap bar and think, oh my god, what's that? Most gyms won't even have a trap bar.
Well, they should, otherwise they're shit.
Anyway, moving on. This episode is going to be about navigating gym anxiety and knowing or learning how to take up space in the gym confidently. So something that doesn't come natural. What? Why is that funny?
Say BDE.
BDE?
Yeah, big dick energy. Taking up space confidently, you know? Bring that big dick energy.
Yeah, we're going to teach you how to channel that BDE.
BDE.
Is that the first time you've ever referred to it? Is that?
I've heard, when when the hip.
What's gone wrong with you? Why are you being so weird today?
When the hip. Well, I'm not being weird.
You are being weird.
I've had a chocolate muffin. I'm feeling fueled.
No, because I had a point come up in my client check-ins this week of one of my wonderful clients who has recently started her strength training journey in the gym mentioned that while she was enjoying getting used to free weights and she definitely felt like she was progressing, she was becoming quite self-conscious of taking up space and feeling like she needed to give up that space to the quote-unquote real bodybuilders in the gym, and she wasn't really sure how to navigate that. And obviously, had she said this to me in person, I would have obviously shook her and been like, you need to get a grip, because that is absolutely not true, not a valid thought whatsoever, because you have every right, just as much as the next person, to take up space in that gym, regardless of your experience, however long you've been there, how much muscle tissue you have. Like, it does not matter. Like, everyone is equal in that space. However, I'm not naive to think like that's just going to work. I wouldn't just say that because it doesn't change the fact that people do still feel self-conscious and the confidence isn't just there immediately. And once upon a time, I would have felt intimidated in the gym. So we're going to talk about it, aren't we?
Yes.
But in good old B3 podcast fashion, we're going to kick it off with a completely irrelevant question just to break the ice, get us all warmed up, have a chinwag about something that's completely irrelevant to the topic. And today's theme is...
I answered the question.
You can ask it.
Yeah. So in powerlifting, obviously you have your squat, bench, and deadlift. So we were going to ask each other if we could replace those lifts with different ones. So some kind of squat pattern, some kind of push pattern, and some kind of hinge pattern. So it can't be normal barbell squat, normal barbell bench, normal barbell deadlift. What would we replace each of those with to make our own kind of comp thing?
Do you have an answer?
I'm still thinking on it. So because I've asked the question, it would be rude if I went first. So over to you.
Let me come back to the squat pattern. The push pattern would definitely be an overhead press.
Uh,
I think that's an only valid, genuinely challenging movement.
You could do bench with specialty bars. You could do dips.
No, that's too similar.
No, Cleo.
No, because overhead press, that's more accessible to everyone to train in. Like, pick what, a fucking Duffalo press or something.
Well, what are you going to do then? Are you talking strict press? Are you saying push press? Are you saying they can jerk it?
No, because that's Olympic lifting.
And not
no, strict press.
No, but you can.
That's my answer. Final answer.
No, but you can do like I'm talking, even from like not doing the clean, but you see people that like they jerk it. Easy now, Tiger. So it's that just like
no,
split
that's
stance
Olympic.
rather.
No, I know what that is.
It can be whatever you want.
Well, I'm telling you, it's strict press.
I was just all right.
I already had that answer.
Okay.
It's not Olympic lifting; it's powerlifting. We've still got to keep it relevant to the sport.
It can be any.
Well, no, because then if you push press it, then you're dabbling into Olympic weightlifting territory, aren't you?
Yeah, but how many people do you see in the gym and they're like, I'm strict pressing it, and they're actually push pressing it because they don't know discipline?
Me. I know me. I would strict press.
Hold yourself tight. Oh, no. I'm saying there's people that strict press that push press.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if they were learning how to strict press because that was what the powerlifting criteria entailed, then they would strict press.
Okay.
It's the same reason why people would bench and not learn to lift their bum off the bench. Like, if they're having to stick to a criteria, they wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, right.
My hinge. Oh, that's a tricky one. I didn't think about this.
Well, you've got RDLs and stiff legs. You've got deadlift variations.
Not a stiff leg.
You've got good mornings.
No, not a good morning. I hate those.
You've not seen the max. You've not seen people doing max effort good mornings off pins.
No,
like 800 pound good mornings from suspended pins, chains or whatever. Fucking sick.
RDL, I feel like it's a little bit basic. Does a trap bar count? A trap bar deadlift?
It's less of a hinge, but we'll count it because it's technically a deadlift.
It is, isn't
high
it?
handle, low handle.
I feel like it would have to be low.
Well, could you imagine the ridiculous numbers people would be doing if they did a fucking high handle trap bar?
I'm going to go low to make it more challenging. Low handle trap bar deadlift. Strict press. An overhead strict press. What would my squat pattern be? I feel like...
I don't know. What would it be?
Can you really max out a Bulgarian split squat?
Yes. Have you not seen the German cyclists do fucking...
I know.
It's this fucking
a
crazy...
1RM though?
Yeah, each leg. That would add another dimension because you'd have to do it on each side.
Oh, that's true. Imagine if you got
That'd be sick.
An insane PB. Or do you just pick your strongest leg?
No. I think for it to count, you have to do both. Can you
get a max on each side and you get your average?
No. I think if you pick whatever number you go to, if you pick the 100, you'd have to hit 100 on one rep on each side. Otherwise,
it's so hard.
Because it's the same thing. Like if you do a thing and you can't go back down.
Because I feel like a goblet squat or something like that would be useless because you'd be capped by how much you could put in your hand. You can't really hold stacks. But then that
would add another element, wouldn't it?
No, because you'd max out. People would just max out eventually.
Yeah, no, but that's like anything. It's like, oh well.
No, but like
if I squatted in a Smith machine, I could do more because it's the.
No, but
if you do that,
more people are going to max out quicker.
Oh, I've got one fast squat. That'd be fucking sick.
What?
What it takes? Just steal it.
Well, okay, so I have to pick my final answer in it, like closing no.
I suppose you could if I say something and you really love it and you go, oh, go on then. I'll allow it, but I don't want to like sway your decisions. By
I wanted you to say, what other squat pattern could you do?
So think of like specialty bars. Think of different squat variations.
Or you could just say like an SSB or something, couldn't you? Or that would be quite good. Actually,
or you could do something where you do like a bottoms up. So you get underneath it from pins. What can you concentrically do?
Yeah, because that's half the movement you've just taken it away.
Yeah, but from the bottom. Yeah, but like it's still. So it's like a deadlift then, isn't it? Because a deadlift's only concentric. But it's your lift. I'm just saying you could do something funky. You can make it.
My logic.
You can make it where you want. You can make it what you want. But like doing something like an SSB, pin set to depth, concentric only. That'd be pretty fucking cool to
That
see.
would
What
be quite challenging.
Yeah.
It would also be good for someone like me who fucks depth every single time. I'd have to get good at that. I'd have
Well, you'd
to.
start from depth.
I would. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So I couldn't get called on depth.
No.
I'd either make it or I wouldn't.
No, it has to be like a proper, obviously. Like
I feel
a
like
full
it'd have to be
workout.
an SSB though. A
Yeah, yeah.
barbell from pins would just be horrible. SSB bottoms up.
You could do front squat from pins and make it really
Oh,
fucking
what the
gnarly.
hell? I didn't even think about front squat. What a stupid. Oh,
You could do a front squat.
Zercher squat.
That's the one I was thinking, because Tom Haviland,
A
that
Zercher squat would be
freak that fucking
great.
does like 300
Yeah,
kilo
but then again,
Zerchers.
you'd be capped quite easily by how much you could hold
Yes,
in your
but
elbows.
that's part of it.
I feel like that would be a good one.
Because you get
fair.
high bar, low bar squats. It's
A
like you're
Zercher
like,
squat.
yeah. I think that's a proper like.
That would really challenge you.
Like, but then
Front squat is
obviously
Zercher.
Zercher squat's challenging, it's limited, but when you see freaks like Tom Haviland, like that's the thing. Like for me, it's like yes, people can back whatever. When you see like someone doing like 300 kilo Zercher, you go fucking hell. That's impressive.
I think Zercher would be better than a general front squat as well because people wouldn't be capped if their shoulder mobility and hand mobility wasn't as
But
good.
you're deep in it too much. That's
No,
part
but
of the
like you're
sport.
trying to make it more accessible, though, aren't you? So people could probably lift some crazier numbers Zercher rather than front.
Maybe you can cross. Yeah, have to do Olympic style.
Well, all right. Well, maybe
Would
that's
you
the
allow
criteria.
straps? Would you allow straps? So
no
you
straps.
couldn't strap hold it.
Nope.
No, it'd have to be purely just
Cross or
Olympic style. Yeah.
What's your answer?
I think it would either be front or Zercher for the squat, purely
would be your
because I
answer?
think Zercher. I think because I think personally when I'm going through stuff and I see someone do like a really crazy Zercher, that's the thing that makes me go, I want to now I want to go and max out a Zercher. I think that's really fucking cool because also like it's almost like it is more like torso and upper back heavy, isn't it as well? So it's not just like your leg strength; it's how like you see someone with a good Zercher, their backs are probably going to be yoked just because they're having to fucking resist that force pulling you forward. So I probably think Zercher for the squat. What did you say for your hinge?
Trap bar, low handle, trap bar.
I think doing something like a concentric good morning, like a good morning set at the
Oh,
bottom,
at the bottom.
or even does it have to be a heavy single?
Yeah.
I was going to say something like a 3-rep max good morning.
No, because you're taking away from the whole power. Like you've got to keep it relatively
Okay,
similar.
I'm going to say a good morning to pin. So I'm going to say you have to walk it out. You set the pins to depth. You have to come down, pause on the pin until you get the command, and then stand.
That's fucking horrible.
So
I would quit powerlifting if that was
I think
the
an
criteria.
SSB dead stop good morning.
Right.
I think that'd be fucking because like again I've seen people do like who's that? There was an Australian dude who trained with Australian strength coach, and he did like without the pins, he did like a fucking crazy like an 800-pound good morning. I was just like
That's
Jesus
disgusting.
fucking and like Dan Green.
Yeah.
When he's doing like a heavy set of 5 on good mornings, it's like Jesus Christ. So I think Zercher squat, a dead stop good morning, SSB good morning to pins, and then the fucking push because I just like normal benching. So I'm either thinking dips.
I knew you'd say that.
Or a Duffalo. I think a Duffalo bench. So like a normal bench, Duffalo bench press.
Yeah, that's too similar.
You think that's too similar?
Yeah.
You just qualifying it.
Although, is it any different? No, trap bar is quite different to a conventional.
So it's a Duffalo then. Because you're adding more range. It's a full range.
All right,
It's
all
a
right,
more
okay.
range.
We'll allow it. Duffalo. But it's just everyone doesn't have a Duffalo bar. Like, that's quite hard to come by in a gym.
Tough shit.
Yeah, but you're trying to make the sport more inclusive anyway.
Fine. Well, not every gym has a fucking SSB.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Let me shut up. My logic is flawed.
Not every gym will have a trap bar.
More do than a Duffalo.
Oh, right, okay. So it's okay to have a specialty bar if it's the one that you want.
No, I'm
That's
just
what it is.
saying. Well,
I can have trap bar
if
because
Pure Gym is going to have something like a trap
Okay,
bar
fine. I won't say
SSB,
Duffalo if we're
the
going to say
Duffalo.
right. Okay, I won't say Duffalo because Pure Gym has a trap bar and SSB. So fine. Fuck
I mean,
yourself.
if they can have
fuck
it, then
yourself.
most gyms are going to.
Fuck yourself.
What's the other one you just
Because I've seen people do like the dip competitions and they do and it's just like it just looks like cheaty. It looks like because
they like.
yeah, and I
momentum.
don't like that.
Yeah, but you can put a criteria in. You can't do certain
Okay,
things. Like you can set the
don't
rules.
do a dip like a bitch. What are the presses? I'm shit at shoulder press, so fuck
I
that
think a
right
dip
off.
press would be quite funny.
Huh?
I think a dip could be cool. Shoulder press could be cool. You just don't like it because you hate
Fuck
shoulders.
If I was going to do a shoulder press, it'd be seated out of a rack in a rack, not standing.
No, that's cheating.
Says who?
It's not as hard.
Or do we do something like dumbbells?
No, it has to be with a barbell. Or a bar, a single bar. Making these rules up as
But there's no other things you can do for.
We spoke nearly 15 minutes on this. Come on, final answer.
Dibs.
Okay,
Seeing as you're not letting me have a specialty bar bench, could it take any minute?
that's not a barbell either.
What any specialty bars?
I think Duffalo. We'll allow Duffalo. Just
Duffalo.
let you
I'll
have
say Duffalo
Duffalo.
bench.
Duffalo.
Searcher squat, Duffalo bench, and
Good morning.
SSB
Dead stock. Good morning.
Yeah, an SSB dead stop. Good morning.
I would quit powerlifting if that was it.
I'd fucking love that.
I'd be down for a Zercher. I'd be down for a dip, I guess, but
dip
the
down
arms and elbows would just take a beating. Anyway, moving on, because this episode isn't going to be too extensively long.
Let us know what your 3 would be.
Yeah, let us know what your 3 would be, or do you prefer Hannah or Alex's variation of powerlifting?
What did you say for your squat? Did you say Zercher as well?
I said Zercher. We both
okay, so
Zercher.
we both said Zercher.
And then I said low handle trap bar deadlift for the deadlift. And then I said strict bar overhead press. My voice is going. Alas, we move on. Okay, so obviously I mentioned before that one of my clients brought up this week about how she felt a little bit anxious in the gym and was starting to feel self-conscious around the people who she believed to be the quote-unquote real bodybuilders and thinking she didn't have as much right to take up that space as they did.
Did she feel that... What did they say anything to her? Did she... Were they doing anything to make her feel intimidated, or was it just a purely internalized feeling of she didn't feel like she belonged there?
She didn't say, so I'm going to make the assumption that it was an internalized feeling.
Because if someone's giving you shit, that's a totally different conversation.
Yeah, tell them to fuck themselves.
Bark at them. And I'll go with you and I'll bark at them for you.
Yeah, just come to us and we'll get on. No, I'm joking. We're not starting fights around here. All love, no war. But what would you say to someone what would be like your top 3 tips to someone who maybe is feeling a little bit anxious going into the gym, or is feeling like they don't have the right to as much space as someone who's been there for a longer period of time?
I think we all started, like, I definitely had it when I first started training. Like, I think it's definitely a normal feeling to have. It's like if like going into a car dealership would freak me out because I know nothing about cars. It's like if I had to change a car now and then they're like, "Yes, sir, what do you have to?" And I was like, "Has it got 4 wheels and a steering wheel and will it take me from A to B?" Like, that would be something way out of my comfort zone because I don't know enough about it. Whereas, like, so the first time I stepped in the gym, like, I get it because I was in there and I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like, I know what a leg press is, but like, what the fuck is this weird thing that you can do, like assisted dips and like, I get it. I think if it's something you're completely not sure about, maybe go with somebody, if you know someone that's already had a bit of experience in the gym, or again, a coach. Someone that can kind of like help show you the ropes. Obviously, there's going to be, hopefully in the gym, there's gym staff there. So if you're not sure about it, it's one of those things where don't be afraid to ask. But I think if you could potentially go with someone the first couple of times that has been doing it for a bit, so that like if you go to a bit of kit that you don't know, they could like demo it for you, or they could like demonstrate it for you. Or if you're not sure about how to do certain free weight stuff, they could be like, "Oh, here's how you do a squat," or "Here, how's it, bench, deadlift, whatever." So I think, what was it? I'm out of shot. Sorry. So I think maybe go and finding a mate, or having a mate, or someone that knows or has been into it, that could help. If you're on your own and it's a kind of a case of you get in the heebie-jeebies and you get a bit anxious, I think sticking some headphones in, jamming out to some tunes, I think that kind of like that could help, like blinker it a bit. Not like blinker it as in obviously like a horse, you don't know where you're going, but like in terms of it helps you kind of like stay in your zone and channel stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No? You wanted 3. Jesus. I
So
think
go with someone who knows what
go
they're
with
doing.
someone. I
Put
think if you're on your own,
headphones
put your headphones in to kind of like drown stuff out, because like a gym can be noisy. They'll have their own music on. Their own music is usually shit if it's a commercial, and you're going to hear Adele set fire to the rain or whatever it is as you're trying to fucking do some stuff. And I'd rather...
I do like a bit of Adele.
Not when you're training.
Depends what mood I'm in.
It's like, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I want
I've
to
heard
go...
worse songs.
Yeah, but it's like the same 4 songs on repeat. And then I think the other thing is just consistency. It's like with anything, it's the more you do it, the more familiar the environment gets. I think if depending on when your gym is open as well, if it's 24 hours or whatever, you could always try and initially go at quieter times. I know it's not going to be ideal for everyone with work and life or whatever, but you could always try going at quieter times, so it gives you a chance to kind of explore like the different like free weights and machines and whatever, when there's not like a bunch of broccoli haired teenagers having 10 to a leg press and you're like, what the fuck? Whereas if it's quieter, it kind of gives you a chance to like potentially try some of these things without that whole feeling of like feeling judged or worrying that someone's watching you and critiquing you and all that shit. But like I think the biggest thing that you've probably said a million times, and I've said a million times, like generally, is that 99% of people in there, this comes with love and whatever, do not give a fuck about what you are doing. And if they do, definitely don't pay any attention because they're not working hard enough on the things that they should be. And it's very easy for to be like, oh well, it's easy for you to say because you've been doing it for years. Of course, it's like half the time when I'm in there, it's like headphone. If I go to a commercial or like any gym that, because obviously I've got the luxury of training in a setup at home, so I don't have to be around people. But when I do go to those other gyms, it's like if I'm with you, it'll be like we'll just be chatting a bit in between sets as we're doing our workout and stuff. So that's kind of like my way of like blinkering, is that we're just shooting the shit in between heavy sets or whatever. Or if I'm on my own, it'll be headphones in, focus on my shit. I don't really give a fuck about what anyone's doing. So, like, take it from us that when we go in there, we're not going around being like, they're doing it wrong and they're doing it wrong and this person's being a shit and whatever, because it's like I'm too focused on what I'm doing.
I think also it's the more experienced you are in the gym, you'll probably realize the more they don't care. Like the more people are focused on their own thing because
Yeah.
they're like, this isn't novel to people who have been there for a long period of time. Like they don't really care what other people are doing. They're just there to focus on themselves. They're just there to. Often people don't have time to be dilly-dallying around. They're literally going
Yeah.
in and out. Like the amount of times that people come up to me or people message me and they're like, Hannah, you look so serious in the gym, or you look like so unapproachable sometimes, or like my friends that know me well, and they're like, I see you in the gym, but you just like, you've got the blinkers on and you're like tunnel vision when you get in there. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm not going in there to give a shit about anyone else. I'm not going in there to dilly-dally. I'm most certainly not going in there for a chin wag. I want to go in. Occasionally, if I see one of my friends, then yes, I might say hello. But I don't, because I end up chatting for so long.
Han, why have you spent 3 hours in the gym?
Exactly. It's happened before, and
Oh, well, I bumped into so and so.
yeah, as much as I love speaking to my friends, obviously in the gym, there's a time and a place. Like 9 times out of 10 in the week, at least, my training sessions can't take 3 hours. Like I don't allocate that much time for them.
Let me put it back to you as well. You asked me what 3 things are. What would your 3 things be to tell people that like are trying to
So just to recap, what were your top 3 things?
Fucking hell, I can't remember.
So you said go with a friend.
I said go with someone that kind of knows the ropes. They can like show you a bit. Potentially go at quiet times, so like it gives you the opportunity to go into those areas and use bits of kit without like that fear of feeling judged.
And wear headphones.
And then potentially like listen to some music to help like drown stuff out.
I think all those 3 are very, very valid. Very like I would absolutely recommend those things.
Is there anything you'd add?
This one sounds a bit like basic, but honestly, I don't know if it's a female thing or if you notice a difference, but wearing an outfit that you feel comfortable in. And this might be more for girls because typically with lads, it's pretty simple, shorts and a t-shirt or joggers and a t-shirt.
How dare you, sexist.
No, girls'
bastard.
gym wear varies so much, and some of it can be quite revealing, some of it can not like be proper like baggy and loose. And I personally don't think there's either like a right or wrong outfit. Like just wear whatever you comfortable. Obviously, that's appropriate.
Yes.
But just wear something that you're not going to be constantly picking at yourself at, or you're thinking like, oh, I don't know if I look right in this, because the last thing you want to exacerbate that already like present anxiety in that space is for you to then be even more anxious about how you look or how you're coming across, or you trying to use a piece of equipment, or you trying to do an exercise for the first time and you're thinking, oh, I don't really like how I look because this is showing, or that's not quite how I want. And I don't know, do guys suffer with that?
I think everyone like suffers. Like I certainly, because I started off being like a little scrawny fucking chicken wing, starting off in the gym, and it's like very much like the idea of like wearing a vest when I first started was like a no because I was like, I've got nothing. Like I look like I look like chicken bones in a bin bag. Like there was nothing really. So it's like, so I think that goes both ways. It could be like obviously like wear stuff that you're comfortable with, but also like if you've worked hard, use some stuff like show off a bit. Like you've worked.
Oh yeah, like if you're confident in wearing less clothing, then that's also fine.
Be appropriate. No one likes that fucking douchebag in a commercial gym that takes his top off and is doing fucking.
I don't actually think that's allowed in a lot of gyms. You can't take your shirt off.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is I don't want to fucking roll around in your sweaty fucking shit after. Like I'm saying, like the whole being appropriate shit. So wear a vest. Don't take your vest off. That's for home time. Don't be a prick.
No, but wear whatever you're comfortable in, because you want to make yourself feel more confident.
It's like if initially wearing some, baggier clothes or maybe wearing some hoodies because you're not like that, and that makes you feel comfortable. Like there is no right and wrong.
Mm.
Obviously, don't do shit in like fucking work trousers, but like, I mean, like you're saying, do stuff that where you makes you feel comfortable, and then as you've got that confidence, like you are allowed to wear what you
Like,
want
I definitely
within
noticed
obviously within reason, but like,
still I've been going to the gym for absolutely and, 16 was when I went in, when I was allowed to go in. I did go into the gym before that, but, like, officially started
how dare you,
consistently when I was
breaking the
16.
rules.
It would be, like, backstreet gyms that were, like, didn't give a shit about health and safety.
Oh, you're 11. Go on.
We won't ask your age.
Yeah, it's fine.
Why are
Go
you
on
in
in
your
there.
high school uniform? Or, like, not
Ah,
even
yeah.
that. But even, I have days now where I will wear, like, specific clothing to make me feel better if I'm not having a good, I don't know, body image day, or if I'm not feeling, or if it's like that time of the month and you're feeling more bloated and you just want to like cover up and just crack on with your session, or if it's winter and you're freezing, or I don't know. It can obviously vary like throughout the seasons and throughout, what fucking day of the month it is for women in particular. But yeah, definitely clothing makes a big difference. And just whilst I'm on that, I forgot to mention actually off the back of your music comment, because
Music.
the whole
Oh, yeah.
point you want to be focusing on right now is trying to reduce your anxiety as much as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but certain music makes me more anxious if I'm not in the right headspace to listen to it. Like if I want to listen, if I'm trying to like, if I, nerves are high, anxiety's high, I can't really listen to my usual either sort of like drum and bass, house, maybe even some heavy metal-y type music, like all of that really high energy, intense music is for the days when I'm feeling low and I need that boost. If I'm already high and I like nerves are high, anxiety's high, like that makes me way too overstimulated and overwhelmed, and I have to listen to something a little bit more mellow, not like I don't know.
Beethoven.
Yeah, not quite that extreme, but I need to find like a happy balance, and I feel like some people might not realize that can also be a trigger and a contributor to your anxiety. I don't know if you get that.
So that's weird because I've never really. I do. I get what you mean. Sometimes I walk in and I'm like, Eminem comes on some heavy rap. And I'm like,
Mm.
absolutely fucking not. But I've noticed it even during sessions. So
What?
like I will do like a heavy, like my heavy 1 rep max or whatever, and it'd be like something blurry. As soon as I come down from that, I can't listen to that shit anymore
Yeah,
because it's almost like it's
just
like
too
right,
much.
I've
Yeah,
been up here, I need to
yeah.
fucking come down. So the thought of like I'll be like, I'll finish it, I'll come down, and then I want to just snap the speaker in half because I'm like, I can't listen to this, it's too much. Put something mellow on. So like, and that's the thing, like it can ebb and flow. Like if you go in and you're feeling really good and you're having something a bit more oomph, and then for whatever reason, whatever, it's like just change up, put some time bits a bit more calm and mellows you out a
Also,
bit.
yeah, in the same point, like if you're anxious or nervous, don't be chucking pre-workout and caffeine because that's also going to
Yeah.
exacerbate your nerves and anxiety. So just make sure that you're being aware not to overstimulate yourself when you're already in an overstimulating environment, especially if you're someone that is a little bit more sensitive to that, whether that's because you are prone to anxiety or maybe
Where my
neurodivergent.
tisms at?
Or yeah, literally. Tisms.
Where my fellow tism boys at and
That's
girls.
just
We
something.
don't
Yeah.
judge.
You're
Ah.
so sexist. Sorry, I just stood on your foot.
Well, I was saying like I was saying that as like a all encompassing.
A bro thing.
Yeah, I was like, hey, all my tism bros.
Whatever. But no, like genuine point, like don't make life harder than it needs to be.
Yes.
So clothing was my one point. That was kind of an add-on to what you'd said before. Or maybe I class that as a point. Going with a plan is my second point.
I was gonna just say this very thing.
Whether you get that plan from a qualified PT or coach,
Hello.
or whether you or whether you get it offline, or whether you online.
Did you say online or offline?
I meant
What's the
whether
difference?
you get it off online is what I meant to like.
Because I hear people say offline and online. Is there a difference?
Well, offline is when you're switching off, isn't it? Online is when you're switching on.
Offline. What?
I meant to say like when you're getting it off
So
the
you could-
internet, basically.
So what would be getting something offline?
If I'm offline, I'm not present on the internet. Like I'm offline.
So when people say, "Oh, I've got this offline," they're wrong.
No, I guess technically speaking, yes. I don't
Yeah, it's
actually.
always I'm a dinosaur, so that shit always confused me. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I've got that offline." I'm like, "Are you saying online, or do you generally
I
mean
think
there's
they mean
something?"
off online, like off
Right.
the internet.
Okay,
So that's
well,
what I meant anyway.
yeah, I wasn't. I was just heard both, and I was like, So I'm a dinosaur. Anyway, go on.
No. I think I just wasn't speaking correctly.
No, I'm a fucking
Yeah, so you could
technophobe.
get it from a PT or a coach, ideally, like whether that is you're obviously investing in coaching, whether you can purchase a one-off plan. Obviously that's something you or you have to discuss with yourself whatever's feasible and whatever coach you want to get that from, whether you get it from the internet or whether you literally get it from your favorite influencer. That's not something we'd recommend, but I think if you're just getting into the environment, like
Yes.
something is better than nothing. And if what you see online looks enjoyable, if they give things like demonstration videos and it looks nice and simple, then by all means have at it. I would just make sure that you go in knowing what you're going to do, so you're not sat there overwhelmed by all of the choices of equipment, thinking like, where the bloody hell do I start? I don't even know what to do. And that can just add to the anxiety that you've already got. My third point, did you want to add anything?
Yes, I wanted to, because I think the whole like the bit you said about enjoyment is really important. And that's the thing that I say, like I preach to a lot of people. Obviously, like if you look at our stuff, a lot of it is like like a lot of my stuff, like have a plan, attack your weaknesses. Da, 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 da. Like that's for people that have like been in the game for a while. They have specific like goals and as in they want to do this, this, and this. I think the thing I always say to people, like if you're getting into it, is make it fun. So say, for example, we're doing like a full body session. You're doing a squat pattern, a hinge, a push, a pull, and some core, and then some fluff stuff at the end, right? That's whatever that squat, hinge, push, pull, and abs looks like can be whatever the fuck you want it to be that's enjoyable, right? If you like doing Zercher squats over barbell back squats, do that. If you like goblet squats over, like if your hinges, if you fucking hate doing straight bar whatever's, but you like doing good mornings, do that. If you don't like benching, but you like doing it with dumbbells, you like doing dips, like ultimately, as long as you're covering those like patterns, say in a full body, you're still going to be covering everything you need. And what those things look like can be whatever you enjoy. Because if we're trying to get into it, you're trying to make it a habit, you're trying to do it something you look forward to, initially, make that stuff fun and
Mm.
enjoyable and something that you actually go, I'm going to the gym today. I fucking love doing Zercher squats. I can't wait to do some more or do some more reps, whatever. Like, make it fun. When you've been doing it for a bit and you've built the habit and you've built the consistency and you feel confident in the gym and you haven't got that anxiety about what this is and what that is or how to do certain movements, then you can start looking at like, how do we make this more specific to a goal I want? Like you could be doing it for a couple of months and you're like, oh, I really want to max out. I really want to get the best Zercher squat I can. And then you can start looking at how do I build a program that tailors me towards that goal? And yeah, it might be down the line. You have to do some exercises that potentially aren't as fun because that's what you need to get to that goal. But that's later on. Like that's further down. Initially, just pick exercises that you like doing. Even if like any squat pattern that you do, if you get better at it, your legs will improve. You will get stronger and you will build some muscle in your legs. Whatever hinge pattern you enjoy doing, you will build your hamstrings, glutes, lower back. Whatever push pattern you enjoy doing, you will still build your chest, triceps, delts. Like it will still, as long as you're doing those things, you will still be building. It's just pick the things that you enjoy so you actually want to fucking go and do it. Because if I was getting into the gym and someone said, right, here's your plan, and I'm like, but I hate half of this, no, do it anyway, I'd say, fuck off. I
Mm.
wouldn't want to do I wouldn't want to do it. That's part of the reason why I've stopped swimming. Like I enjoyed swimming for so long and then it just became something I hated. So I didn't want to go and do it. So I stopped doing it.
Mhm.
Like I didn't enjoy doing it anymore. So I fell out of love with the thing. If you're trying to get into this, do stuff you enjoy so you actually like fall in love with training. You fall in love with going to the gym. There's no point doing something that you hate because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's like meeting
It's
yourself halfway. So
yeah,
you know you need to do something. So that
it's
choice.
different now because we have specific goals that we want to get better. So like when we open our plan and we go, oh, for fuck's sake, they're split squats. We know that doing the split squat is going to help us reach our goal, but we are willing to compromise on that because we know we have to do some stuff we don't like so we can do the stuff that we actually want to do.
Hmm.
Like when you guys aren't at that point, don't sweat the small stuff.
If
Just
anything, like enjoy it whilst it lasts,
yeah,
because the
yeah,
more you get into it, the stronger you get, the more experience you get, the more specific you get with
yeah,
your
yeah,
goals.
yeah, yeah.
That flexibility becomes a little bit more
But that And that's
rigid.
and that's what I fucking hate about social media at the minute is when you've got all these optimal bros saying like, "Don't do this exercise for back. You have to do this ultra." Like, there's no context. Like, if you're getting into the gym and I saw that, I'd be so fucking confused and overwhelmed. I'd be like, "But I like doing barbell rows, but they say barbell rows aren't good." It's like,
Mm,
you want to do barbell rows for your back and you get into this, do some barbell rows. You're
yeah,
gonna work your back. It's not gonna kill you.
yeah.
Whereas you get these people, oh no, we have to do it. It's like, no, shut up. You're providing no context to what your point is and
Mhm.
saying this is bad for what? It's not, shut up. You like barbell rows, fucking do a barbell row. Tell those people to get fucked. Anyway, I'm very passionate about that because it pisses me off. Anyway,
I
moving
think
on.
it's all valid. So the first point I made was about wearing confident clothes. The second point was follow a plan. The third point, I feel like this, the reason I'm saying this is because I don't think this is something you will see, because you will probably see a lot of this content on the internet coming up to the new year, because everyone will be jumping on this bandwagon of new year, new me. How can we help you? Which is, I'm saying that almost like it's a bad thing. It's not. Like, obviously, we want to make the gym accessible and open to people. Um, I would say start practicing positive self-talk. If not now, if not then, at least start it now. And it doesn't have to be specifically about how you look, how you move, what you can do in the gym. It can literally be in any element of your life, because I feel like the whole notion behind positive self-talk and positive behavior change is under underestimated. Um, I'm not going to say misunderstood. I just don't think people realize how much of an impact the way you speak to yourself has or assists in you making positive behavior changes. So, like, if you're constantly tearing yourself down, if you're telling yourself things like, I don't deserve to take up space in this gym. I don't have as much right to take up space in this gym. I don't like how I look. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so stupid. I'm this, I'm that. That is going to dampen your already low confidence. And you're never going to put yourself in that environment where you will be encouraged to make that positive behavior change or repeat those habits and become more consistent, because you're creating that association with that environment being such a negative, or you being in a negative headspace because of it. And it might not seem like a big deal, or you might think like, oh, well, that's valid though. Like, I am stupid, or I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, well, no, because logically, actually, of course, you're not going to know what you're doing when you first started something. Like, no one just knows how to drive a car the second they get behind the wheel. Like, people don't just
Speak for
know how
yourself.
to, people don't just know how to walk the second they have legs. It's like, babies don't. They don't come out the womb being able to run a marathon.
No,
You've
it's
got to
the
learn
it's
it.
the way you said like have like they don't have legs, and then one day they
Spawn
magically just
legs.
spawn in legs. Oh, okay.
But they don't. Like, you've got to give yourself some grace and be kind to yourself, because if you're just dragging yourself down every session, then no wonder you might find it hard to go back again the next day, or like the next week, or enjoy the experience altogether, because it's going to be horrible and you're not going to create any sort of positive environment to flourish in, which is against the whole point of this journey in the first place.
I have a question.
Go on.
For someone that hasn't done positive self-talk, how would they get
Okay.
how would they get into, like, if this is someone like they've heard this and they go, I haven't ever done that,
What do I
I
do?
want to get into it. Would you say like some meditation, like app stuff to try and get into that headspace to do it? Would you say it's just like journaling? Would you say it's actual like before you go to bed, it's like sitting down and just like repeating stuff to yourself or in your head? Like, how would you, for
I
someone that wants to practice that and get into it, how would you advise like them to get into that and start that?
Personally, what I've found works and what works well for my clients is, I'm not going to be the coach that tells you to sit and look in a mirror and pay yourself loads of compliments, because whilst that does have its place and it can feel very uncomfortable to begin with, but I have tried this with certain clients and it has paid off and it has worked. I wouldn't necessarily start with that from the beginning if you've not done anything about sort of any kind of like mindset work or mindfulness work, or anything to do with improving your body image or relationship with food and fitness or yourself, because that can feel quite intimidating. But instead, I would focus on almost being more neutral with the way you speak to. So, not necessarily being super positive, but at least catching yourself when you might be a little bit self depreciating. So, if you think like, oh, why can't I just get a hold of this, or like, why can't I just do this, or why can't I just get to the gym and feel confident and get this plan done, or why can't I just go 4 or 5 times a week, or why can't I just look a certain way, and you start getting yourself in that cycle, just catch yourself and think, no, if I at least can't turn that around and say, oh, I'm great, I'm fabulous, I look great, etc., at least just don't say anything at all. It's like the whole phrase, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, that is a good halfway point to at least stop bringing yourself down, even if it's not necessarily bringing yourself up, because you're almost doing that anyway by not pushing yourself down anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Um, Journaling is a great one. I really like that tool for people because, one, it's accessible, and you don't need any fancy kit. It's like a piece of paper. You can use your notes app on your phone and just note down. It can be literally anything you want. You can get pre-written journals that have questions in to make you think a little bit more. You can ask yourself things like, what do you like about yourself? And you can make that as a task once per day. I've done that with some clients before. And again, it makes them feel uncomfortable, but it gets them to think a little bit more positively about themselves. And that it's not just how they look, it's how do they show up in life? Like, how do they act in their relationships? What sort of other qualities do they have that have got nothing to do with the fitness and food and the gym? And that naturally has a side effect of then or I should say, like, it leaks into other areas of your life when you start to have a more positive frame of mind around yourself and, the way you show up. And naturally, then that also starts to build confidence, which once you become confident in more than one area of your life, like, it's easier to become confident in other areas because you've already got that proof to show that you can do stuff like that and that you're more capable of doing what you thought perhaps one time you couldn't. Um, and as I always say, like, confidence is a skill and it takes time to practice, and, it takes more repetitions to practice. So the more opportunities you can give to practice being more confident and being more positive, or at least being less self-depreciating, that's all going to compound together to help you in your fitness journey. Um, yeah, without being too intense or making it too, like, icky, because you think there's no way in hell I'm looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself I'm stunning or I look great in this gym outfit. Like, as much as you probably do, like, you don't have to tell yourself that if you just think, like, I'm lying to myself. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Um, so yeah, I think that's probably what I would add. I thought there was another point that I had that I wanted to talk about that I forgot. Going with a plan. If you can get a coach, or if you have the facilities or resources to invest in a coach or a PT, I think that would be great.
I,
Just because it's straight from the what?
I was going to add on to like the actual gym program side of stuff, but I'll let you finish your point.
Are you going to repeat what we've already talked about in the No Bullshit Guide to Getting Started?
What about just being like
That's episode 1, by the way. If you're
I wouldn't.
listening
I
to
mean,
this and you're getting
if you
started in the
have,
gym, definitely go and watch that
I
or
would
listen to that podcast.
just say a 30-second thing about it is like make it realistic. Like if you're whatever, if even one going to the gym one time a week initially is better than fuck all.
Mm.
Don't try and jump in at the deep end and do 4 or 5. Set something that's realistic that you know you're going to be able to stick to, even on like a bad week. What's the
Mhm.
amount of time you can do, and then build from that. Because again, it's not going to help your confidence if you're like, I was supposed to do 4 sessions and I've only done 2 because.
Yeah.
Whereas if you make it like 1 or 2 to start with, and you know you can consistently hit 1 or 2, and make that a habit, and then if you have room for a third, then you can always build up. It's harder to start high and then pull back. Whereas if you start something realistic and build, that again is going to help with the consistency and momentum that will give you the confidence to obviously keep turning up and
Mhm.
stuff. I think it's a big. I've had a few conversations with people through December, like offering these like bit of free help to get them, and that's one of the things. It's like, how many should I do? And there is no like right answer initially. It's how many can you do consistently?
Mhm.
Because there's so many people that were like, yeah, I can do 4. And I go, oh, cool. How have you done? I went twice. But so,
Mhm.
when I was saying do 1 or 2, this is why I said doing 1 or 2, because if you're literally going from nothing, you can't go from nothing to fucking all in. It's like if
Yeah.
we tried to do it, it's like, I don't know. I was trying to take up drawing and I went, right, I'm gonna draw a fucking masterpiece every day, every night for a week. It's like, oh my fuck. Whereas if I started to like, oh, I'm gonna dedicate an hour of drawing twice a week.
Mhm.
That's gonna be something realistic that I can buy into, that I can then build from. I'm not gonna be like, it's just with anything in life. If you try and go from nothing to everything, are you fuck gonna be? And all it does is just make you feel shit when you can't do it.
Yeah.
You just go, oh great, I'm worthless. And then that's the whole like bleeds into the self-talk thing. You want to everything. You want to
Yeah.
kind of all these little bits. You want to kind of
You
like
wanna start building
end
evidence
up
to
feeding in.
yeah.
So like that if you're going once or twice, and that's once or twice initially, and you're doing that, will help with the self-talk. Being like,
Mhm.
I can do this consistently. I can turn up. I can like. Whereas you might find if one of those goes, everything crumbles.
Yeah.
Whereas you want to try all these different things that you're trying to build into. You want to make sure it all feeds into it, so it's putting you in the best possible position to be consistent and hopefully make this a lifelong thing.
Yeah, and become more confident and become less anxious and just become more sure of yourself. So, yeah, as I was saying, like, create that environment that supports yourself as best as possible. Like, you want to work with yourself. So, obviously, if you can work with someone who knows what they're doing, whether that's a coach or a PT or a friend that's been there and done that and knows what they're doing, awesome. That's going to put you at a great head start because you've already got that point in the right direction, and any questions you have, you can bounce them off them.
Hmm.
Obviously creating the environment for yourself. So whether that is drowning out the noise with your favorite playlist, listening to a podcast, wearing comfortable clothing, going into a familiar space that you've perhaps had an induction with, because I think that's definitely worthwhile doing as well, just to get familiar with what equipment is where, creating a plan for yourself and going in knowing what you're going to be doing, having that intention there to begin with, so you're not kind of going willy-nilly into it. Um, Not making life harder than it needs to be by, dosing up on caffeine and pre-workout, having crazy loud music in your ears when you're already anxious, going in with no plan, or going in not having a Scooby what you're doing or how to use any of the equipment. And yeah, just start being kinder to yourself and meet yourself where you're at, because there's no point expecting or trying to create a plan for someone who is a regular gym goer, who's experienced, who's, strong or muscular, because that just won't be appropriate, because you'll be pushing yourself way, not even just out of your comfort zone, like beyond your means. That's naturally just going to shatter your confidence anyway, but that's not your fault.
Yeah.
You're not, no one would do that. So, just like give yourself those stabilizers, essentially, like get used to the movement, to the routine, to the pattern, and build on from there. And then eventually when you're ready, you can remove those stabilizers and things can start to progress in the right direction.
In the words of the Black Eyed Peas, can you meet me halfway?
I'm at the corner. Yeah, great song. Yeah, manifest that energy.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I wanted to say. Anything else to add on?
Yeah, anything else to add on? Yeah, this has been on my mind a lot. Do you think Dumbledore was a dick for keeping Harry alive to kill him at the right moment?
Well, arguably no, because that's how they've been able to film as many films as they have. Do you think if he'd killed him sooner, they'd have had as much opportunity to profit from?
Yeah, but we're not thinking about that. We're just thinking about purely like the whole big thing is built
If this
around
whole thing
Harry.
was
Harry is
real.
the last spoilers. Harry is the last Horcrux, isn't he? And the whole point is Dumbledore knows that, so he's keeping him alive to kill him at the right moment so that he can defeat Dumbledore. So the whole way through you think,
I think
oh,
it's a little
Dumbledore just
bit
likes
savage.
Dumbledore's like, hey, this kid. Hey, this kid, he's a good kid. It's Harry Potter. And you just realise the whole way through the only reason he's doing that is keep him sweet so he can just
It's a little
fucking
bit of a
murk him.
plot twist, I'm not going to lie. It says a lot about his character, I think.
But then is that just a
Dumbledore.
man that's doing what he needs to do to defeat the
That's
evil?
also true. Everyone has their own right to be doing what they're doing for their own reasons, I guess. That's what happens when we have free will.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? Morally, no.
Would you kill Harry
If I was in the same position, would I do that?
Then Voldemort doesn't die.
Probably no.
Then Voldemort doesn't die. You have to kill Harry to kill Voldemort.
This is going on a tangent.
Yeah, no, I always like, when you say, have you got anything to add?
Yeah, I know.
I always just like
Let me
throwing
just
a
add something completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
But no.
It's a good conversation. It's that, or, why didn't they take, in Lord of the Rings, why didn't they take the eagle straight to Mount Doom? But,
And on that note, guys, thank you so much for listening. Long story short, if you can take anything away, absolutely embrace the nerves, embrace the uncomfortable vibes, embrace feeling way out of your comfort zone, because this journey, if you're starting now, is going to be mega. And if you are listening to this and you already know, or if you have any tips to add, feel free to drop them in the comments.
But definitely watch the first episode that we did, because that is like a massive deep dive into how to,
if you're listening to this and you are a beginner,
how to get into it.
Listen to episode 1.
That's a proper nitty gritty. Yeah. Other words.
Listen to episode 1 if you're a newbie. Share this if you know a newbie. Send it to them. Make their life easier. If anything, you can listen to this whilst you're in the gym. Have a little chin wag of us talking through, and honestly, just remember, everyone has been a beginner once, and
should I do some audio of me barking now so that they can play that if someone does such a thing? If you just go, but you can rewind that and then play it. So if someone gives you shit, take your headphones out, full blast, play that barking at them and they'll fuck off.
I'll repeat.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Don't say we don't treat you. But no, what I was saying is, if anyone makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, shape or form, just remember that is a reflection of them, not of you. Just focus on you, your journey, and the people that actually have a valuable, potentially, opinion. Won't give a shit. If anything, they'll be there to help you and support you, and look for friendly faces, ask questions, don't be afraid to reach out for help.
Majority of the people in the gym
want to see people win,
but the majority of people in the gym are like want you to win.
Yeah, because we've all been there.
How many people have we met through training, like different, meeting different coaches, all this kind of stuff? Like, it's a lot of the community is people wanting other people to succeed, and it's being around like-minded people. Like, it's mint. I've met some of the best people through this.
And I will mention, because we will wrap this up, but on that as well, if you're ever wanting help, I'm the type of person that if I see people that I feel like don't know what they're doing, or if they look confused, or if they look intimidated, I won't approach them in case that adds to their anxiety and they don't want that to, to speak. But I'd be more than happy to help if they came to me. So if I'm thinking that, chances are there's probably loads of people thinking that.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you see a friendly face or if you see someone who looks like they know what they're doing, don't hesitate to ask them. And as you say, like, most people are friendly. They're great.
If
It's a great
someone
crowd,
if someone came up
usually.
to me, I'd help them.
Yeah.
If they needed a bit of they don't know how to use a bit of kit. I mean, I have had it happen halfway through. Someone's been like, "Oh, I don't know how to use this. How do I adjust
Mhm.
this bit on the machine, or how do I do?"
And
Like,
as
yeah,
you were saying, like, we know
fuck
loads
it.
of
Yeah,
majority of our friendship people, like, group are from sporting backgrounds or gym backgrounds, and they're great people, so they're
yeah.
gonna be everywhere.
It's the 1%. Like, everyone you see doing that shit is usually the one. It's usually that 1% of people, and that's because of social media. That's the shit that gets pushed on your screen. It's all these people being fucking pervs or dickheads or saying this stuff. But that's because that's the stuff that gets your attention. Like, a lot of people are not that. Of course, there's going to be some dickheads. There's dickheads and everything, but the majority of people are friendly, are kind, and they do just want the best for you. So don't go in with that preconceived idea of there's going to be a load of fucking assholes,
Mm.
because that's the downside of social media, is it pushes the stuff that's going to get clicks and views, and people being dickheads is what gets clicks and views. But that, I promise you, in basically every gym I've been to, I've never really experienced that. And if
Yeah,
it is, it's like it's one in a fucking million.
yeah. So thank you for listening. Let us know what you would like to hear more of in the new year, because we will be obviously very excited to
Yeah.
continue making a bunch of content for you guys to help. And in the meantime, we'll be past Christmas. Hope you've had a wonderful Christmas, and
Be up before
you,
New Year, won't it?
yeah, have a happy new year, guys. Woo!
Don't have any party
Woo!
poppers, so I can't let it
Yeah,
off.
pew pew pew. Pew, pew. Okay, okay, bye.